Hello everyone and welcome to this special year-end program from CGTN 2024 in 2024
In review.
In review. I'm your host Nadim.
And I'm Yunfei Zhao. Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Friday night. This is the last Friday here in Beijing, and we're taking this opportunity to recap our 2024, telling our own stories as well as telling your stories.
You can watch us on your social media platform of choice, inside or outside China. We're talking Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Douyin, Yangshi Pin, as well as CGTN.com, our official website, and the CGTN app. So make sure to tune in and leave your comments.
We have a hashtag, right?
Yes, New Year wishes. And tell us what you've been doing in the past year and what are your hopes for the 2025.
And tonight, we're going to invite our reporters here at CGTN, and then we all going to share our own reporting stories, but we don't want to focus it on only ourselves. I think we're talking about a lot of topics. So hopefully you'll be able to interested in many of the topics and leave your comments here on social media platforms. We'll be reading out your comments, and hopefully in the next few hours or so, we got a chance to get engaged with our audience from entire world.
That's very true. So again, the hashtag is New Year Wishes. Let us hear your thoughts and let's engage.
I want to take this time to describe our atmosphere over here. I really like this space a little bit.
It's festive, it's bright.
It's New Year celebration, but it looks like a Chinese Lunar New Year. But
well,
yeah,
I mean, it's coming up. It's coming up in a couple of months. Yeah, that's very true. We have this beautiful piece on this table. Gold ingot, I heard. It's
gold
called.
ingot.
Yes.
Okay. So this is something very traditional. It looks like if you've been in China for a while, a lot of people eat dumplings. It's simply because dumplings look like this.
Right. So this is an ancient form of currency.
Right.
And it used to be weighed, and that's how the value is drawn, just by weight.
Yeah, it's all about money. Chinese people would like to get healthy and wealthy, and
inside.
For tonight, it's all about money inside.
Speaking of wealthy, we have my favorite thing during the Chinese festivities.
Envelopes.
Hongbao.
That's part of my childhood memory because every Lunar New Year, you got red envelopes. Although today is not Lunar New Year, it's just New Year's Day. But
it's part of the festivities.
It's part of the festivities. Even I studied abroad in the United States, a lot of my American colleagues
the tradition followed.
Recognize it and give me red envelopes with the money, with the cash inside. But there's no cash for today.
Oh yeah, I have no use of this, so I'm sorry.
But there's no cash.
Okay.
But instead there are paper with key terms.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell me more.
The game today is that every single person who's sitting there get a chance to draw our envelopes and take a peek on the term inside and relate your own story with the terms writing in there. So it's kind of a challenge. It's more like a literature game or something like that.
Okay, so basically choose a word and then relate it to your personal life or hopefully professional life.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this.
I'm shuffling it.
Every day you're shuffling.
Yeah, I just want to shuffle it before you start yours.
You sure there's no cash in this?
Maybe you got yours with cash. Okay, Nadim, so you get your chance to pick your envelope first.
I'm gonna go for this.
Oh, you're gonna go for the first one. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Let's see what do you have inside.
Is wonder.
Oh, wow.
What a wonderful word.
Wonder for wonder.
Wonder for wonder.
Okay.
That's very true. As
a reporter, yeah.
I would definitely say traveling.
Right.
This year I had the chance to go to a few places, actually more than a few places in China. I've been to Shandong, I've been to Qinghai in the northwest. I've also been to Donghuang, Xinjiang, Gansu, and the sites there obviously amazing. But what really interested me more for my personal experience, but also my experience as a reporter doing reports from there, is the culture, learning about ethnic culture, learning about traditional Chinese culture. And it's something that I've noticed a trend in the past few years, cultural tourism, where people just go to new places, not just for the views, but also for, to learn something new about the local culture.
Yeah, I have a quick question for
Yeah.
you. Because usually, if for Chinese people, Chinese people would say that Chinese city is so different, one different from other. But from a foreigner's perspective, does it make sense to you?
Of course. I mean, every single place that I've been to has its own unique charm, has its own characteristics, has its own culture. Like even I've been to Xizang before, and I've been to Qinghai, and both of them have a traditional Tibetan culture. But even with these two places with the same culture, there are differences. And so it's beautiful to be able to explore these new things and to be able to explore them in a fun, entertaining, modern way, which is what's happening right now.
So what was your highlight of the year?
So I'll give you an example. In Qufu, the birthplace of Confucius. We went there, and I was surprised that they've built an entire village based on like an ancient style back in the dynastic style. And there you can immerse yourself in the 6 arts that Confucius was a master of. So you had the art of riding a chariot, or the archery, or music. And so you can see performers doing it, and you can also experience it yourself, firsthand. And I think that for people who don't understand Confucian culture or traditional culture, Chinese traditional culture, that's an easy way to open that to a mass audience. That's my impression.
Yeah. Even though Shandong is not far from Beijing, but it's still you got a traditional perspective of the culture itself.
There, in every city that I've been to, modern first-year or fourth-year villages, every single place in China has its own characteristics.
Even you have been staying in China for a really long time.
Yes, and it never ceases to amaze me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
No, I think I've spoken enough. You've spoken about the good luck that these red envelopes have, and so I want to pass my good luck to another colleague of mine.
Of course. So
I will not say the name, but we will watch a video.
Okay.
We're setting up the lights.
1,800 delegates and representatives. 7th China International Import Expo, more than 400 from Thursday to this Saturday on the Bund in Shanghai. It's coming here to see all the amazing cars from all around the world. Forum, and this morning, one roundtable discussion for global entrepreneurs just finished. China's major commercial banks announced adjustments to interest rates for outs. You announced provisional tariffs to EVs from China for quality productive forces. Must be on the list. Witnessing the steady growth of China's foreign trade and the firm steps of CATL has become the world's top EV battery producer. Behind me is the Gaofen satellite, which is the part of China's high chapter for the 800's NEV market in China. Really my very first time to see this kind of diamonds. Winning census. Integra can reach the heights of more than. So exciting! Oh my god, another one on my shoulder. Oh my god. The China travel frenzy is huge. The international travelers.
Food, 非常
just a few steps, you can set up your.
I heard about the Fuchuan River.
Here she is.
Welcome, Xu Yi here, our business
guys.
reporter.
Hello, Yunfei and Nadim. I'm very happy to be here to have this moment and opportunity to share all my stories and experience in the almost past year.
It's always crazy to see, for reporters, we call it a reel. We call it a cut of all the things you have done. And then when it's time to recap, you'll be, wow.
Yeah.
You did so much in the past year.
Yeah, so much memory.
She's been a busy bee.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure you got a lot to share, but before you share anything,
I wish I can have the luck you just passed to me.
Yes.
Okay. Should I reshuffle it? Okay, here we go.
Okay. There's no bad word, right? Okay, no traps.
I don't think.
I don't think so.
Did you write all the thing or anything?
Okay,
so what do you want?
Choose.
Oh, you get
this one.
Okay.
Yeah, randomly.
Okay.
Okay, let's check it out. Okay, so my word is, wow, I love this word. Vitality.
Vitality.
Oh, wow.
Well, you're full of vitality, looking
Yeah.
at all the reports that we've just seen. So,
From my videos,
That,
right?
tells your stories,
Yeah.
right?
I think vitality is a perfect word to describe the achievements on China's economy this year.
okay.
And also, as I'm the reporter from Global Business,
Yes.
so just like you guys saw in my video just now, I've been to many places like in China or outside China, like in the Davos meeting, or in like the Beijing Auto Show, and also I've been to many places from the big cities in Chongqing, Shanghai, Chengdu to the small counties, which gave me more surprises about the vitality in Chinese economy. So based on you, I know that you guys prepared more words to us, and
You get your own keywords.
I bring my own.
She's like, I don't trust you.
She's shifting the topic.
She's like, I don't trust you. I'm going to bring my own.
Okay.
I bring keywords to describe what I witnessed about the China's economy, and the first one is new.
New.
Yeah.
What's new? What's
New
up?
about Happy New Year's new.
Okay.
There's
also
always something
for-
new over
yeah.
here.
Always something new, and there's something new in China's economy is the new quality productive forces, because it's the new concept introduced in 2023 by President Xi Jinping, which refers to the advanced productivity freed from the traditional industry models. So what I witnessed about the achievements about the new quality product forces, that I was going to many factories in China, like the CATL's Lighthouse factory, which is the first lighthouse factory in the lithium-ion battery industry. And you can see its production line with fully developed automated devices, and it can produce one battery cell in just 1 second.
Yeah.
That is a surprising moment.
That is
And,
super fast.
Super fast. And in NIO, in the NEV giant in China, they are producing cars with the humanoid robots.
Wow.
And also now humanoid robots industry also in China has been emerged with like 2.7 million yuan in 2024 for the whole industry's output.
That's how much investment going in, or that's how much output
The
going?
output, the
Okay.
scale market size of the humanoid industry. And also this is also one of the future industries, along with the low altitude economy, like we can expect more in the next year. So that's the new quality productive forces.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a term that's been described many times, but one of the official times being raised rapidly, I think, is the 2 session this year. The Chinese premier delivered a work report over the 2023, and then there is a whole big paragraph. I was there at the Great Hall of the People covering the event. The whole big paragraph with 3 different sub-paragraphs talking about what China mean by new quality productive forces. It has a lot to do with innovation, looking for quality rather than quantity.
High quality, yeah.
High quality. So yeah, it's also at that 2 sessions, China set its GDP growth as about 5%, and now it's December. China predicts that it maybe will reach its goal. Given this large-scale amount, it's a really tough mission.
Yeah. And also, why the new quality productive forces is so important, because the 2024 Chinese government work report put the new quality productive forces on the top priority to develop all these industries about. So I
we're
think-
looking ahead.
Yeah, we're looking ahead.
That's pretty new.
Yeah, so now it's time to
We have a
get my
okay.
second keyword.
that.
It's about open.
Openness.
Yeah,
Okay.
openness. And maybe it's like a keyword about Nadim. Maybe,
Wow.
yeah.
Why?
Because I believe that maybe most of our like younger generation or fans about Chinese international platforms, they will screw through one viral tag, China travel frenzy. Yeah, so based on the China's free visa policies,
That's true, yeah.
we can see many foreign visitors, many faces with different colors in like small alleys in the big shopping malls in China. And beside that, beside the free visa policies, Chinese government has been making more efforts for the services for the foreign visitors, like the mobile payment services. If you're a foreign visitor coming to China, you can now buy your digital account and your bank cards with the WeChat Pay and Alipay immediately after landing. So this is one emerging service sector for openness and high quality opening up. And talking about high quality opening up, in the financial and trade sector. Like at the 7th session about China's International Import Expo, I also was been there. We can see many more international merchants and businessmen coming to China to do their business, and many people there, like they're the first time to China, but they are
What
from
was taking them so long?
Yeah, the small.
Because it's a rare opportunity, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're from the poor countries, maybe some small countries, but they also want to have more opportunities with China. So that is a signal that China is welcoming more people across the world. If you want to explore China, if you want to have more opportunities with China, just come.
And now,
Go ahead.
we just learned that there's like going to be the visa-free policy transit is going to go to 240 hours. It was just announced a couple
10
of
days,
days,
right?
Yeah,
10 days.
yeah.
A couple of days ago,
More hours
announced
than
that,
before.
Yeah. So now people can come and enjoy China for a longer period than the 72 or the 144 hours.
Yeah.
I think it's also a representation of the dual circulation. It's a long term, but China is pursuing the dual circulation, giving the domestic market as the mainstay, at the same time open wider to the global market. Because if you have foreigners coming to China, certainly will boost the economy, boost domestic economy, has more demand at the same time, open wider, because this is really a case that China is telling the world that China is more confident, so having more international visitors to check out what China is really about.
Yeah, so that's the meaning about China is embracing the world. So that's the meaning of
That's
open.
open.
That's
And
open.
then your third.
And last but not least is, this word.
Different
Vibrant.
colors.
Vibrant.
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 So the word about vitality.
Right.
So let me conclude with this vibrant. So where can you find the vitality on China's economy in China? But maybe before this year or before in like 5 or 10 years ago, you will find it in the big cities in China, like Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. But now you can find more vitality in Chinese counties. I'm not sure you guys ever been to the Chinese county, like small county in before. But this year I went to many counties in China, like in Fujian Ningde province. You can just say that I'm smiling in
It's
the
a
mud.
popular county.
Yeah.
It's popular county.
What were you fishing there in the mud?
Yeah,
What was that?
That is an experience in a fisherman's life.
Okay.
Yeah, it's to do a daily vlog for me. But you can just saw the scenes that I was trying to do the beachcomb. But nowadays, the beachcomb is just for the travelers and outsiders. It's not for fishermen to make a living.
Okay.
They make living by the modernized fishing industries. So also you can find many consumption emerging trends in Chinese counties, like in like coffee industry, like in Taihe County, Anhui Province. They welcome the first Starbucks in this year's January, and also many local people, they start their business about coffee. And also the golden investment, the gold industry is also emerging in Chinese county. Many young people, they want to invest in gold. Yeah, they will collect the golden beans.
Okay.
Many women in Chinese counties, they will buy like golden jewelry once a week to invest in gold.
Wow.
Yeah, once a week.
That is
they have
insane.
many like spare time and spare money.
Okay.
So also you can find many Chinese counties, they are the leading capital of one whole industry in the world. Like in Zhejiang province, the Zhuji County is the capital of socks. Maybe the socks you guys are wearing are from Zhuji County because yeah, it contributes.
Let me check.
You'll be able to know.
Yeah, it contributes 1/3 about socks output in the world. And also in Henan province, there's a county named Zhecheng. It's the capital of the synthetic diamonds in the world. So you can find many like it's just the emerging consumption trend and also the modernized industries in the Chinese counties.
And so when we put all of these different examples together, what do we do with that information? So basically my question is, why are these things happening in different counties at the county level?
This is about the whole solid foundation about China's economy, because by 2023, like China has 1,800 counties, and all these counties contribute like 1/3 about China's GDP,
Okay.
like 37%. So why that people in counties, they can have the free time, they can have the sense of relaxation, all this based on the money, based on their increasing income. So I think that's the source about the vitality of Chinese counties.
Okay.
That tells the incorporation of the value chains, because different counties, when they're focusing on different industries, it gives a in general picture. So they're not competing, because nowadays a lot of young people are choosing to look for smaller counties, because bigger cities, they have like very comprehensive but also have very competitive
Fast-paced,
environments.
yeah.
Right.
So now, like, if you separate it to different counties and people focus on, that's part of the high quality productive forces.
Yeah.
You drill onto one specific field, it's easier to get more successful.
Yeah, that's a good summarize for me.
Thank you, Yunfei.
you.
You're welcome.
And-
Not a biz reporter, by the way.
Yeah.
2025 is coming up. You can always try it next
Give a
year.
new try.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the 3 keywords for me to describe the almost past year for the 2024. And I'm very looking forward to the next year's achievements, more like exciting moments about China's economy.
Now the big question,
Yeah.
would you like to pass your luck to someone else?
Of course,
Yeah.
definitely. So
We come up with a new idea.
What?
So our next guest is Chen Ziyuan, but since she's not physically here, she's joining us online. What about this? We can have Xu Yi to pick one envelope for Ziyuan and then make her describe what she has, okay?
I feel like you're making these rules as we go, and I'm on board.
Yeah,
I'm on board.
I
as long as it
change
doesn't
from
affect
time
me.
to time.
I
so
will decide, right?
You got to decide.
So you decide her
Wow.
fate.
Okay, you
Ziyuan,
decide.
good
Ziyuan's
luck.
fate. Okay, what do you have?
Okay, I think.
Oh, you
Try
gotta take
this middle one.
The one
Yeah.
in the middle. Okay.
Okay. Shall I open for her?
Yeah, you should,
Okay.
because she's not here.
Wow. Let
She
me check
wants to
the
stay at home. So
Wow,
She's
it's
missing out on
a
all
good
the
word.
fun.
Oh,
happiness.
happiness.
Wow.
oh wow.
Wish
that
all of
really
you
fits her
guys the
personality.
happiness.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, here, Ziyuan, can you hear us? Probably you will tell a happy story of your past 2024.
Hopefully, it's a happy story.
Hi guys, China's rural revitalization in 2024 definitely speaks to the keyword of happiness here. I want to begin with sharing my stories following President Xi Jinping's inspection in northwestern Gansu province, where he spoke to farmers on the production of apple. Tianshui apple is very unique. From the picture that I will be showing you, the flavor of the apple is really dense. It's mostly used to produce vinegar. Not many people just eating it as it is. And Chinese President Xi talked about how the production community is helping the farmers to adapt to the new demand of the market, as well as use technology to help them boost production. We're also seeing this in tea industry in Zhejiang province, as well as growing mushroom in Fujian province. The happiness is definitely from the harvest that we're seeing. In addition to that, I think digital tools has been a very key development, and also tools to empower the growth in rural areas of China. We're seeing Cunchao, the village Super League, has become a huge event in Chinese rural areas. The empowered football competition that have been attracting so many foreigners, as well as football players from Hong Kong and other regions around the world, to participate in the event. Not in urban, not in a huge commercial event, but we're seeing it in Chinese villages. So with the digital tools, knowing events that are happening everywhere in China, especially in Chinese village, this has empowered the villagers to really think outside the box, to find a new way for not only for their economic growth, but also on culture, as well as education, as well as on health. And I think digital too is something that has really empowered the growth in the rural village. And what we're seeing as well, that the transportation in China has also helped to boost travel. We are very touched by buses that just allow elderly farmers come out of the village to sell their vegetables and then return home in the evening. Meanwhile, they can earn their income, but also really maintain a connection in a city to earn a living, as well as really connecting not only the rural community, but also in the urban community. So we were seeing a lot of touching stories on those aspects. And I think this is what Chinese rural areas are unique about. Their life is simple but meaningful in contribution to China's growth, as well as to different culture and connectivity of its people. So I think happiness definitely speak to 2024 China's rural revitalization.
That's rural
That's
report.
well said.
Yeah, I because nowadays, I stayed in Beijing for a very long time covering policymakers. But a few years ago, I was working in bureaus, so I missed my time as grassroots reporters.
That's where all the fun is.
That's all fun is, because you got a chance to talk to people and then cover human stories. I want to echo what Xu just said, that mud flat. I also been to the same county. The mud flat is better than sand because birds love mud flat. It showcases the environment.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's more opportunity to get inside with the nature itself. Yeah.
Yeah, so also the happiness, it reminds me of my experience recently. It's in September. It's for a business trip for a special program about the 75th anniversary of the PRC that we've been to Northeast China, which is the greenery across the country. And in Lishu County in Jilin Province, we explore the farmlands. And if you go to the farmlands nowadays in China, you can barely see like any real farmers in the farmlands, because
Machinery.
yeah, you can see everywhere the machinery and also the drones in the sky, and also they have the satellite remoting system to monitor all the farmlands in real time and to estimate the output of the year. So the farmers can have spare time. They can be freed from the farm work to do more like valuable things, like the e-commerce platforms, like the traveling industries. So I
High
think
technology, right?
so being a farmer in China now is a happy job, and also rural places
Remember?
New.
and
That's-
happy.
And
And rural,
speaking of high technology,
Yes.
we got a chance to know someone who really professional in this field.
If you want technology, you have to speak to her.
Yeah. But before we invite her,
who is it?
who is she?
You'll see.
Hi there, this is Chen Chen, and welcome back to Tech Please. I know it's been a while since the last episode, and if you're wondering why is this episode happening here at the World Economic Forum, or how is tech related to this event? Well, it's actually the 15th annual meeting of the new champions, also known as the Summer Devils, held here in Dalian, Northeast China's Liaoning province. Through roundtables with web's global shapers and chats with the brilliant minds I've met, AI is at the heart of every discussion I've encountered.
It's more of how do I adapt to the trend that is coming? How do I leverage GPT models, for example, to create images? It's a frontier technology.
And AI tops Web's list for 10 emerging technologies of 2024, especially for its integration for scientific research.
I think materials have always been a key in terms of finding technological solutions. What's happening now is that with the new types of AI algorithms that we have, that there might be an acceleration of discovering new materials.
Being able to sit in the front row and witness the evolution of AI in China is a privilege. However, I'm also reminded that I should not take that.
All right.
Chen Chen.
Tech reporter.
Hey
Hello.
guys.
Yes.
Let's
welcome.
tech it out.
Ooh, well, it's tech, please. Well, hey everyone, this is Chen Chen from CGTN Digital. I'm a tech reporter, and I guess it's my turn to
Yeah, I think
try my luck.
Tech really covers everything. So
Yes.
you wanna-
I will get into it. Okay, I'll also pick the middle
Oh,
one.
the middle one. Okay.
Right. Let's see. Drum roll, please. Development.
Development.
Tech is always related to biz. It sounds like a biz word, right?
Well, yeah, it's related to everything.
Yeah.
But as you can see from my report, AI is really the buzzword of this year. It's of course has been in the world. It's been evolved for decades, but this year in particular, everyone's been talking about it.
It feels like year on year it gets louder and louder.
Yes, and I'd like to start my topic by asking you two, how do you guys feel being influenced by AI?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think AI has definitely its place in this world, but the misuse of AI is a major headache right now.
Yeah, and we'll definitely pay attention to that topic as well.
Especially in journalism, communication.
Relax, you won't lose your job. You're more than talented. We have to have you here.
I hope so. I hope so.
Because we are journalists, so we can only speak on behalf of our own industry. We can't speak on behalf of other industries.
Sure.
My personal experience is because I'm a TV reporter. So for some of you maybe don't understand, but the TV writing is really different from print or newspaper writing. Okay. So I tried to use AI to write story for me.
It's not working?
It's not working
at all.
Especially for TV writing, because it's more human touching, it's more like oral speaking, and it's more like, we call it writing to pictures, because you have to understand what's on there. But you are a print writer more of the time.
I mean,
AI doesn't apply to you as well.
Not at all, because AI has its own AI style. And as a copy editor, even when I'm editing copies, you can sometimes feel when AI has been involved in some way or form, because I don't know how to say it, it just doesn't feel human.
Yeah.
So you can detect when I use an AI to help my writing.
I know your style, I know your style. But AI, and you can attest to that because you deal a lot with AI softwares. AI definitely has its own AI style, and it is. I mean, it might sometimes give a better explanation or a better structure to the sentence, but it still has that mechanic, robotic sort of cold.
Yeah,
touch.
for sure, and that's exactly why we need you two here, and we are still here.
So
right?
Whoever say AI can help you with writing, you are not a good writer.
That's the harsh truth, but
yeah, that's the harsh truth.
Yeah, but we have to come back to development, right?
Right.
When AI is integrated for economic lives, it's a lot more. So this AI Plus initiative that China launched or mentioned during the two sessions is aimed to boost the development of economy, digital economy, right? Okay, there goes my word, that's my keyword. And also, as Sui has mentioned, it's also going to play a significant part in bolstering high quality development. Now, AI Plus still sounds quite vague, right? I'd like to share with you an interview that I had with an expert, and it's coming from Wang Jian, the founder of Alibaba Cloud, and he said, AI Plus not only gives you a third hand, but also enables both of your hands to do a lot more things that you cannot do currently. And that certainly goes beyond the AI agent we employ nowadays.
I mean, the thing is, like, AI is such a vague field. You know, we're speaking about AI in journalism and communication and writing, but it's a lot more than that. You know, like sometimes when you want to book a cab and then you see the route, that is at one point AI has calculated it. So, I mean, it goes into different aspects of our life, and I think that's where AI Plus comes in, not just with writing an article.
Also, why we say that AI can replace journalism, I also wrote an article saying that AI cannot replace journalism, is because this is a job that really requires human contact. And certainly, if there's AI available, help us with, navigating the software. We're gonna have more time to talk to people.
Yes, I mean, the art of journalism is about interviewing, it's about interacting with people, right?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so just as you said, AI is still a big topic, and I'd like to share more with you on some of the scenarios. And the first one is AI for science. As we also mentioned during my report, AI for science tops the annual list for the emerging technological breakthroughs of 2024 made by World Economic Forum, and a large part of it involves new material finding. Now, imagine, because new materials is at the foundation for a lot of new technological breakthroughs. For example, we talk about AI. Training of AI runs on a lot of GPUs, CPUs, and runs on power. But what if we can find a new material for chips that consumes less energy and computes much faster? That could be a breakthrough. That's for semiconductor. And what if for room temperature superconductor, right? All the findings of new materials can be helped with the assistance of AI. And also AI for biomedicine is also a very important topic. A lot of drug companies are now employing, actually a lot in China, of course, are developing these AI models dedicated for protein structure prediction. And that will help us to identify the new drug for cancers and a lot more, save people's lives.
So AI as a force for good instead of a force for ill things.
Well, we for sure also need to pay attention to that and make sure, and it requires a global effort to make sure that AI is under our governance and ensure a safer environment for the development of AI, right?
Okay.
Since AI can save your energy, why don't you take this opportunity to draw another envelope?
Sure. Okay. I mean, she seemed.
Well,
is excited.
Shall I get an AI to help me draw it?
How about I help you? How about I help you?
Yeah, see, the best interaction is still with humans.
You're not AI.
Please.
Okay.
Which one? Would AI do this?
No, this
No,
is
AI
much more far more.
this.
Yes, far more exciting. All right. Next word.
Okay, here we go.
Well, I'm lucky. I get 2.
You get 2.
Because you use AI, so.
So that
More
makes me
advanced.
smarter. Yes, and a more advanced
Future.
future.
See?
Future.
So give you a more relevant word.
I mean, we're already talking about the future with AI. What does future mean to you as a tech reporter?
Ooh. Wow, there's a lot we can envision for future, right? I mean, it's exciting. We're now wrapping up 2024 and looking forward to 2025. I mean, starting from AI, it will for sure keeps evolving on itself, and a lot of the topics that I mentioned, that's what I will look forward to, for example, new materials findings and biomedicines, because it will still take time for these industries to now the models are ready, but it takes time to wait until the actual technological singularity, right? But for me, looking back, it feels like 2024 feels like the beginning of the next wave of revolution.
The future starts now.
Here from this show.
Absolutely.
Well, I got a question for you. So how do you envision your life in 2050, let's say?
2050.
Wow.
I would love to have already, finished all my work and then
No
just
more work.
retired.
Yeah.
I would imagine myself somewhere on an island.
But now, since that we have to work longer, with our retire time has changed, how would you envision your daily commuting life?
Something with flying cars, I would say, because this is something that I've been hearing about a lot.
Low altitude economy.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Either that or supersonic. I don't know, high speed.
Hyperloop.
Yeah. Something very fast.
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
like
I'd
a
like to have
bicycle.
that.
Yeah, nothing like a bicycle.
Oh, and
Or
then cycling is also
a
nice.
bus.
A
That is-
bus?
Yeah,
you
see,
don't seem like to like bus.
Yeah. I have a different point of view. I'm the bus
us.
person.
Oh, you're a bus person.
Yeah, because
You're that
usually,
guy.
that?
Living in Beijing, given the fact that Beijing is really a city has the longest subway in China.
So subway is convenient. Take the subway.
Because it's
Thank
convenient
you.
at the same time. Why? But a lot of younger people opt to choose buses simply because the subway is really high efficient.
Yes,
It's
it
too
is.
high efficient, but
That?
if you're on the ground,
So,
no, if you're on the ground, you
Check
hop
John's
in the
face.
bus, you'll be able to see the view outside. You get more engaged. I find myself easy to miss my stop if I'm on the bus, because if I'm in the subway train, in the metro, let's say, I'll focus on which stop.
So you
I'm
don't
at.
get late for
I want
work.
to get off. But if you're on a bus, you kind of get you separated. You're not.
I don't know. I'm not convinced. I am a subway person. I love
Me
the subway,
too.
especially that you mentioned Beijing, because it is so efficient, it is so on time, and it is so comprehensive. Like, you know, wherever you want to go, you can go by subway.
Right.
So
I'm kind of more like a traditional person. A little fun fact about me, I have cable TV at home and I book newspaper.
Wow.
So
That's a surprise.
I think the future would be something that really, you know, get the world adopt to the newer generation of technology, but at the same time, you know, make people respect people's feeling, respect people's engagement with the nature as well.
We should certainly do that.
So I am hoping that whatever happened to horses when cars were made would happen to buses when the next best thing comes.
Right.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, that's our everyday lives. We get buses, we get subways, but as you just mentioned, flying taxis is now no more a future. It's now a reality here in China. Shenzhen, in South China's Guangdong province, is the world's first inner city to have this flying taxi available. And then six other cities in China gradually rolled out the flight test of such flying taxis. And a lot of emerging companies in China have rolled out their new eVTOLs. And if you're not familiar with this concept, it's electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. And so it's pretty much similar to a helicopter, but it's A, electric, and B, most of the times, pilotless, without a pilot, so autopiloting.
Ooh, that's gonna be a tough one for me. Just not having like a real human pilot, you know, behind the wheel.
Yeah.
You know, autonomous driving taxi are available now on roads everywhere, almost in a lot of cities in China.
Yeah, I haven't tried those. I don't know if
Me
any of
neither.
you guys have
No,
tried.
not yet. But we're talking about the technology. I mean, speaking of technology, it's always to have this technology before you talk about, you know, the morality behind it, right?
True.
Yeah, but
really
at least you
feels
have it, right?
Yeah, it really feels like the future is here. Is right in front of us.
Now you persuaded me to turn to a subway person.
Please, before we turn you into someone who likes to fly cars, right?
I mean, you can. I think he's definitely going to jump the subway part and go directly to the flying car.
Cars.
Because you get to enjoy. You get to enjoy a lot more view in air.
Flying in the clouds.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, this whole eVTOLs is only a part of the low altitude economy that China has brought up also during the two sessions, and Xu also has just mentioned, and refers to aero activities under below the aerospace of 1,000 meters.
And what happens above 1,000 meters?
Well, if we go above, beyond the Kármán line, we go to the space, right?
Yeah.
Well, as much as I'd like to share more about the future and related to the space, I think someone is more qualified than I am to talk about it, as she has spent 6 months in the far west of China and made a documentary on China's space development.
Wow.
How about we take a look?
Sure.
The moon as the memory of the solar system. And by reading the moon, you learn about the Earth.
全世界科学家都很期待第一次背面把样品采回来。
4号注意，1分钟，准备。
最复杂的探月之旅是毫无疑问的。
2、1，点火。
I mean, definitely it's probably one of the, I think the most exciting launch I've ever seen in my life.
We are on the way to the moon. Congratulations, Stas.
每一个环节都决定着整个任务的成败。
如果有异常，我们需要及时终止动力下降。
惊心动魄15分钟。
一个星球啊，它为什么正面和背面差了这么多？
Chang'e 6 will provide answers to parts of this fundamental question.
这份月壤是中国人呈现给世界的一份礼物。
Today, our cooperation not just about the moon, but even on the moon.
月球是全人类的， 一定要发挥全人类的作用。
This type of exploration is really without frontier. To go to new frontiers, we should not have any frontier on Earth.
Well, people always think that this mission is all about science. True. It's all about technology. True. And it's about human experience.
Look at us, we got a movie director.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Hello.
Hello guys, this is Elaine from CGTN.
Okay, you got a lot of stuff. We got a nice picture, but
Yes.
before we got that,
I got
should
my
we
red
got our
envelope, right?
routine?
Yeah, you will get yours. Of course you will.
Great.
Let's see.
So many, 3 more key terms.
I think I'm gonna
over
go
there.
this one.
Oh,
You want to go? Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
So let's see what's my keyword.
Someone's excited actually for their keyword.
Oh, dream.
Dream.
My
Wow.
keyword is dream. I like this word a lot.
All the
Okay.
words fit everyone.
So what are we dreaming of?
All right, you guys know that this year I covered a lot on China's space exploration missions. And also, I think this word, elaborate on what we're doing this year because space exploration is just about dreaming come true, right? So actually today I brought several souvenirs from my work. So first I want to dig one by one. First
Okay.
one is this. This is from Chang'e 6 mission. You guys can have a closer look at it? Yes.
There's a little bit
Yeah,
of
here it wrote Chang'e 6, right? So you guys know I did a documentary about it this year, so.
Did you get it from Moon?
No, actually. But as you just mentioned, this mission is about the world's very first sample retrieve mission from the far side of the moon. Yes.
That was a big moment.
Can you explain more about what is the far side of the moon?
Exactly. We know that from Earth, we can only see one side of the moon. That is because of the tidal locking. So we don't know what it's like from the far side of the moon. Many scientists and engineers are so curious about it because it may affect our understanding about the solar system. So that's what the Chang'e 6 mission is about. So what China has achieved is a first for the world.
That's true.
Yes, and also we are so privileged to follow this whole process. I did a documentary called Back to the Far Side. And for me, it was about a lot of dreams inside, actually.
It's the Chinese romance. If you take a listen to the title, Back to the Far Side. Yeah, see?
Because this is not the first time that the Chinese probe has went to the far side, but this is the first time that we collect sample retrieve sample back. Yeah, so actually, the beauty of documentary filming is you got to experience what someone is experiencing as it's unfolding, and you're
real life.
Yes, and you will encounter a lot of unpredictable moments. So I would like to share with you some of my
tell us
filmmaking.
one very unpredictable moment.
Yes, so, and that is my favorite scene. It's on the launch day, May the 3rd. I can remember exactly what it's like because.
It's getting emotional.
Yes, true.
It's a big moment for China and for her.
On that day, it goes nothing as we planned.
Wow.
Because of the weather. It rained. It was so sunny in the morning, but it suddenly rained in the afternoon. So it makes the atmosphere a little bit intense. At that time, many international scientists were curious, whether the launch will be postponed. But it turns out China made it.
Okay.
And what I mentioned, it goes nothing as planned because for us, for the filmmaking, we got to plan every single shots. This is only one chance, right?
Right.
And the rain just...
So I wanted to ask you about this because literally it's one of those shots where you only get one take.
Exactly.
There's no more.
Yeah, exactly.
So how did that happen with the rain, with the tense atmosphere?
We just keep filming. We just keep filming. And
You're like, keep it rolling, no matter what it is.
The beauty of documentary.
Yes, we were all wet, actually. But, you can't imagine the amount of emotion we got. We filmed. That is so authentic. We see that, as you can see from our video already.
Everyone was like, because you were filming, obviously on the ground, and people were just hugging each other and like shaking, and there was obviously this sense of joy.
And one of the most conversation I said is, will the rain affect your feeling when you witness it? But the scientists say we are close enough to feel it.
Wow.
And we are on our way to the moon.
Yeah.
That is so romantic. They hugged, actually, I cried.
Yeah.
It gives an atmosphere.
Why did you
It does.
cry? Like, what was the emotion? What were you thinking when you teared? Was it because you were witnessing history, or because you were recording history, or what was?
Both, and you know, I was there following this whole team from the beginning of this year. We spent the Spring Festival together.
Oh wow! Okay.
So I just feel like I'm part of the team.
Yeah.
And also, you've been through a lot, actually. And at that moment, I was a little bit worried. Well, will it postponed? But it turns out everyone made it. And it has such, you know, appealing moment for us that, okay, everyone within the rocket blasting off in the rain, everybody was hoping for it. You can feel, you know, a unity, like, together.
And I love what one of your interviewees said, that going to the moon is not just about technology, but it's about the human experience. And this is something that I think most of us forget, because we're always thinking, oh, what material, what equipment, what technology will take us that far? But we almost always forget that there's people behind that.
Exactly. You know, I think another beauty of our filmmaking is that we got so close to the people behind the scene. I'd like to share with you a picture. Yeah. This is a very iconic moment. As you can see, we can have a little bit here. All right, this is the moment. This is what Chang'e 6 looks like on the far side of the moon. Anything you guys noticed?
Well, there's the Chinese flag.
I don't see any difference from the, you know, the side we see, but still.
But the red flag, actually, the Chinese flag, also there is a special technology behind it to make it, the color won't fade during past time. Okay. So it would just look like this on the far side of the moon.
Even the color itself, wow.
Yeah.
So who took that photo?
A special robot.
A great question.
A special robot. And also you can see the robotic arm.
Yeah.
As you can notice, it helps collect the sample from the lunar surface.
That's how we got the samples.
Exactly. So this, this includes the lander and the ascender. So the ascender now come back to send the samples back, but the lander now just stay there on the far side of the moon. You can know that, right? That's amazing. But I want to share with you is that we got so close to the people that make these happen. I mean, the Chinese engineers spent over 10 years to develop in such a, you know, well-rounded technology system. And, you know, actually for scientists, or I should say engineers, they're usually quite rational, right?
Right.
They're black and white. It's a little bit hard to get them to, you know, to talk about themselves.
Right.
But what worries us at first, but it turns out totally opposite.
Okay.
They're so romantic. You know, when I asked him, what do you think of this sample you brought back? He said, I think this is a gift for the world. I think this is a really romantic response.
Certainly.
I mean, for someone who's been in China for a while, I think the way that China names its mission is very romantic, because it brings literature, it brings folklore,
the myth
to this
point, because we also film a lot of international scientists. This mission is, we also have 4 international payloads. So what you can also see this picture is on this side there is a special international payload called Niels. It's from the European Space Agency. And there are 4. I was so touched by these international scientists, because it is not only about China's mission, it's also about their dream coming true. Because I interviewed a French scientist, his name is Pierre-Yves. He hopes to find radon on the moon, which is a special gas. And I asked him, okay, just please send me several photos of your childhood. And then he made me a PowerPoint, a long PowerPoint of his growth stories. And he shared with me, like, okay, when I was young, I started traveling with my families, and that's why I start my interest to the planet. Then I go further to the moon, to the Mars. So I can feel that there was strong, you know, emotion and desire and dream behind such kind of mission.
Right, because it's not just about technology, as we mentioned. It's about a human interest story, and I think your documentary really captures both sides of this experience. One as like the cold machinery, and then one as the warm-hearted people.
You are definitely one of my favorite audience of my documentary. Thank you for the support. Yeah, exactly. So I think this made this mission quite special.
But also, China is really popular of sending astronauts onto the space.
Exactly. Right. That's what I also want to share with you guys. Ta-da! These are my 2 badges of China's manned space missions. We know this year we have 2 special ones. One is Shenzhou 18 and the other
19.
is Shenzhou 19. I want you guys to maybe have a closer look at this Shenzhou 19 badge. What do you guys notice? How many stars do you guys notice on this badge?
Oh, there's a lot.
There is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18?
There are totally 19 because it is Shenzhou 19 mission.
Oh, there it goes. That makes sense. Okay.
Yes, that is the details behind it.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and also this mission has witnessed several milestones. We've witnessed the first female spaceflight engineer, Wang Haoze, right?
Yeah.
And also we have witnessed the first Chinese taikonautes who were born after 1990, which is around our age.
Younger than me. Younger than me.
I think it's crazy because you can't imagine as a person born after 1990s and thinking about your peer, even going to space and what am I doing? I'm relying on AI to write the story.
It's really hard not to make comparisons, even though I don't think it's fair to make comparisons
No,
because you take your own route.
but it's unimaginable.
But yeah.
At the same
and
time.
also, what I was interested in Shenzhou 19 is the fruit flies.
Oh.
I mean, because I am in the process of doing a video about it, and it baffled me that they would bring fruit flies
Exactly.
with them all the way up to
Well,
the space station.
Exactly. There are more, space science we're looking forward to. And actually, China has just released the first medium and long-term plan to make China a very important space science power.
Right.
Exactly.
Can I ask you something really rational? Sorry.
Yes.
So what's at stake? Why do we collect sample from the far side of the moon? Why do we send people into the space?
I think this question maybe is what we are trying to figure out when we were when we were doing this documentary. Why people want to go further to the into the deeper space. I think one picture that struck me pretty much is what the Apollo astronaut has took picture. He took what the Earth is look like from the moon. And when you saw that picture, you would just feel like that is the meaning of it. Because when you look back, we share the same moon, and everybody here are looking up for our future on it. And I interview so many scientists, no matter their age, no matter their nationality, they will say what we're doing is for the good of mankind.
That's
good of mine. That's deep.
That's very deep.
Yeah.
Since you've covered something very challenging, I'm going to challenge you to challenge Sun Tianyuan.
Oh.
Too many challenges happening in that sentence.
I love
will
him.
help.
Because as well, Tianyuan is not joining us here physically, but he joins us online. So why don't you go ahead and pick one envelope for him?
All right, Tianyuan, I'm going to pick the word for you.
Yeah,
let's go this one, right?
That one. Okay.
There's only one
Let's
more.
see, what's the word for Tianyuan? Oh, it's hope.
Hope.
Okay, well, I hope he has a good answer for that.
Yes, Tianyuan, so I had hope for you. Let's hear your word.
Hey guys, well, it's been a busy year for me, and I've traveled all over China, following stories from the coral reef protection efforts in the South China Sea to an ancient canal in East China's Zhejiang. Well, I've also chased migratory birds in the wetlands of the Northeast and have witnessed the vast saline alkali land being restored for farming in the Northwest. I also spoke with scientists at the Three Gorges Reservoir in central China's Yichang to learn about their efforts to protect some of the world's oldest animal and plant species. I also ventured to the Lancang River Basin in Yunnan to see how China and its downstream neighbors are tackling extreme weather events. Now, each interview and every single trip has left me with some unforgettable memories. Through these experiences, I've seen firsthand the progress and dedication from the government, businesses, and local communities when it comes to environmental and ecological protection. And one of the standout moments for me was an interview in Xiamen, the garden city on China's southeast coast. I went to the city several times this year, and each for a different story, but it's always striking how international visitors constantly rave about the city's beautiful sea views and green spaces. I had a conversation with an official from Zanzibar, and he praised China's marine conservation efforts. The official mentioned that China has set a great example, and his country is eager to learn from China's experience. And I also explored the origins of Xiamen's environmental movement at Yundang Lake. This lake has become a symbol of the city's commitment to nature, but it wasn't always this way. Locals told me that the lake was a place to avoid in the early 1980s. The water was too smelly and there were hardly any animals there. The true transformation began in 1988 when Xi Jinping, who was then the vice mayor of Xiamen, launched a restoration plan. A series of policies followed, including shutting down polluting companies. Well, Xiamen's story is just one example of the incredible environmental efforts happening across China. And over the past decade, the country has made remarkable strides in green transformation in multiple fronts, such as improving air quality, increasing forest coverage, and also reducing energy consumption intensity. Well, at the same time, China is taking on a greater role in global environmental governance. Well, at this year's G20 summit in Brazil, climate change was a major talking point. The summit's declaration called for scaling up climate financing for developing countries. Later, China played an active role at the following COP29 in Azerbaijan, contributing to key agreements on climate finance. The country's actions have helped secure critical support for the global south in addressing climate change, and it's providing more stability to international processes in a world that's increasingly uncertain. Unfortunately, the new climate finance targets are still far from what's needed. China has been vocal about urging rich nations to meet their obligations and offer transparent, sufficient support to developing countries. It's something we should keep an eye for the next year. So looking ahead, 2025 will also mark the 20th anniversary of the Two Mountains theory, which President Xi introduced in 2005. This theory emphasizes that ecological conservation and economic development are not opposing forces, but can actually go hand in hand. Well, it's been a guiding principle for China's sustainable development over the past 2 decades. And for 2025, I'm super excited to follow the trails of China's green transformation. And even further, I want to uncover more stories and insights along the way. So I can't wait to see what's next.
Oh, that was Tianyuan's remark. I want to address one of the comments in our director wants to address that. Tana和小鱼儿 said, AI question mark? No, that's not. We just want to say it out in our live stream and tell you that this is real live streaming and everything is real.
Exactly. I am a real person. Or am I?
Oh,
that's a question.
Philosophical question. No, really, seriously, we should think about that.
To be or not to be?
To be or not to be.
That is the question.
Yeah.
Maybe for next year?
Yeah, for 2025. I have a question for you.
Metacognition. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, Will you?
I haven't joined the game.
Do the honor and take the last one. We've saved the best for last.
Have the last one.
For you, specifically.
I'm so curious about what that is.
Go ahead.
Okay. So it's...
Oh, long word.
Oh, win-win.
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 That's win-win.
That is win-win.
That's a good term. So what does win-win mean?
You're a policy reporter.
Yeah, I'm a policy reporter. Over the past year, I've been joining President Xi's trip, both domestically and abroad. President Xi made 4 international trips over the past year, 2024, and that's a really great selection because that's an interesting selection of taking care of the global south. But at the same time, he also made a European trip. So I've been covering 3 out of 4 events. So it's a great significant assignment. And usually for reporters covering these kind of assignments, a lot of people would ask me, okay, do you got a chance to really understand what's the meaning behind it? I would say that from this coverage, I can really feel that local people are so engaged with the Chinese president's trip. not only their warmth is not only towards the president himself, but also for China's development as well as China's contribution to the entire world. Because de facto, if you take a look at the project that President Xi has attended, he attended the China-Europe, opening ceremony freight train in his trip in, Central Asia. He also attended a opening ceremony of the Shanghai port that will benefit the Latin America's port. He also got a chance to attend a business forum when he was in France. So certainly there are so many detailed planning that is really based on the philosophy of human-centered and people-centered Chinese diplomacy. Also, speaking about home diplomacy, in the past 2024, the China-Africa Cooperation Forum was held in Beijing. This is also an opportunity for China to get engaged with the African countries. Certainly, a lot of cooperation underway that China really wants to emphasize an idea of this is an idea of win-win, and this is an idea is not supportive from one to each other, but it's an idea of cooperation that can really bring benefit to people on both sides, both the China, but as well as the African continent. So certainly my experience is kind of unique because not all the people get a chance to cover the Chinese president.
Not at all.
But when you cover the big story, I would really give the credit to my experience covering, the grassroots stories, as I mentioned, because all of our reporters sitting in today, they got a chance to talk about the development of China, but at the same time, this is something that we can also share our successful stories as well as our experiences to the rest of the world, and giving a more inclusive environment so that everyone could get a chance to, seeking the path for their own modernizations.
Right.
Yeah. I also I would like to bring in another guest for tonight, is that because we're talking about the Chinese diplomacy. Yeah. So let's get it more international. We have CGTN's reporter Xu Dezhi, who is working at the United Nations, and he also got something to say on his 2024.
Hello everyone, my name is Xu Dezhi, a CGTN reporter here based in the United Nations. Well, I guess many people know me because I was greeted by the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, as well as the boss, of UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, or who I called Big Tony G. And I believe many people also know me because I had a segment in our weekly UN dedicated show, UN Insider. So I'm very glad to be here to spend some time with you before the new year, this year, because we know that the state of Palestine would never be accepted as member states of the UN if US is against it. But they are still trying, and I bet they are still going to try in the future. So that's the most impressive thing I have. Obviously, that's part of the ongoing Middle East question concerning Palestinian question. Okay, so that would be my first answer. That's the most impressive story, and sadly, it's still a developing story, which means the conflict in Gaza is still going on. Ambassador Danoon of Israel the other day said hopefully he wants to see a ceasefire deal, before Hanukkah this year, which is 26th of December, before the broadcast. But let's see what's going to happen, and hopefully when this broadcast, it's a deal. I would say that's a very unexpected and honored incident. Well, I've never expected that. Well, for me, I think I'm just a correspondent, right? And what I'm doing every day is just my job. I feel like in the UN, I played the role by the UN Correspondence Corps. So I went to the briefing every day. I covered the Security Council every day, the GA. Sometimes I went to the stakeout and I tried to ask tough questions to Ambassador Robert Wood of the United States, Ambassador Fu Cong of China, and many other people like Ambassador Vanessa Fraser of Malta. So basically, I treated everybody equal. and I'm proud of that. So that is just my job. And I would say the world might reward people who just do this daily job. Like you do this, it's an accumulative process. You don't reach that level like all at once. You have to do that step by step. And my step actually started way back in 2016. That was when I in Damascus. That's the first correspondent job for me to do, to cover the Syrian crisis. Obviously, it made headlines this month as well. So I feel like this is a process. This is a very slow process, and it's not like I expect this to happen. Don't expect this kind of thing. I remember one of my colleagues in China Central Television the other day told me that you can only control what you did. You can only control what you want to do. You cannot control other people. So what you can do is just to try your best. And for others, they will make a judgment on you. But that's other people's job. That's not your job. And that's something you cannot control. So for me, just concentrate and did everything that I feel like I believe I did the right thing.
I think that's a inspiring ending.
Yeah, lessons to live by from our UN correspondent.
And I think everyone has their own, lessons as well as, something to gain in the past 2024. I think it's getting interesting because I just read one comment and then there's more coming along the way. So Xianghua says Belt and Road Initiative benefiting the whole world.
Right. I mean, when you were speaking about win-win cooperation, that's one of the first things that came to my mind, having covered Belt and Road Initiative way back in 2017. So that was like 2016. That was like the first forum on international cooperation under the Belt and Road Initiative. And
that was back in Beijing.
Yeah. And win-win was the name of the game at the time. And so when I saw the win-win keyword, that's one of the things that I thought of immediately. That how China. It's never about like lose-lose or win-lose. It's about cooperation. It's about both sides benefiting. And that's, I think, what China is all about.
And China never dominates the idea. China says this is China proposed, but China would never say that this is our own idea. So there's a lot of emphasis on the integration of China's development plan as well as other countries' development plan when it comes to cooperation. So it's not only just it's not implying one strategy over to other people. It's the integration itself. Synergy.
There. Yeah. That's a fancy word right there.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's fancy word.
And I also think underground, like different levels, people are also like embracing the win-win concept. I mean, just for example, on the space sector or the tech sector, you're gonna see so many scientists or engineers they were like embody this mindset to like have a more shared harvest for everybody. So I think this is underground. This is also what we believe and what we share.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So Doji just really mentioned about he addressed tough questions to the officers there at the United Nations, simply because there are so many things going on in the world.
And he actually touched on a very actual topic, which is Israel-Palestine conflict, which I'm going to use as a segue to go to Wang Xuejing, one of our reporters, who is in my home country right now. Let's see what she has to say from Lebanon.
Hi guys, as we approach the end of 2024, we are here in Beirut, the capital of Lebanon, to ring in the new year together. So here in Beirut streets, we can feel some of the New Year's atmosphere, mostly concentrated in commercial areas, especially around hotels and restaurants. And we can also see trees decorated with New Year ornaments and shopping malls offering discounts in hopes of attracting more customers. However, in the southern suburbs of Beirut, which were heavily affected by the conflict between Israel and the Hezbollah, the festive atmosphere is not as pronounced. As per tradition, the downtown Beirut will host a New Year event, and many hotels and restaurants in Beirut will also hold New Year themed parties, offering traditional Lebanese dishes such as tabbouleh, hummus, and grilled kebabs. After a year of turmoil, this New Year's holiday is especially important for many Lebanese people living abroad. With the gradual resumption of flights at Beirut Rafik Hariri International Airport, many Lebanese are returning home to reunite with their family after a long separation, and many inbound flights are operating at full capacity. So Lebanon used to be a famous tourist destination in the Middle East, known as a paradise for food lovers and often referred to as the pearl of the Middle East. And local restaurant owners have told us that in previous years there were many tourists from Europe, Asia, and even Latin America visiting for the New Year holiday. However, Beirut's New Year celebration this year feels somewhat quiet. The number of international tourists has sharply decreased, and the hotels and restaurants feel unusually empty. And 2024 has been a particularly difficult year for the people in Lebanon. The spillover from the Israel-Palestinian conflict dramatically escalated tensions between Israel and Hezbollah, culminating in a 2-month-long conflict that began in September. And the escalating conflict resulted in significant casualties and displacement. According to the Lebanese Ministry of Health, the conflict has claimed the lives of 4,047 people and injured over 16,000. Just when people were uncertain about the possibility of ceasefire, both Israel and the Hezbollah, under the mediation of the international community, reached an agreement, and the ceasefire officially took effect on November 27th at 4 a.m. local time. The situation has greatly de-escalated since the ceasefire took effect. In recent interviews with some local Lebanese residents, there is a sense of cautious optimism for 2025. After a year of turmoil, people now value peace more than ever. Despite the ongoing challenges, there are hopes for positive changes in the coming year and a better future for Lebanon. From Beirut, Lebanon, this is Wang Xuejing from CGTN, wishing everyone a happy New Year.
Year to Xuejing.
Feels like home.
She is at home. Yeah, she's in Beirut, and I was speaking to her actually in the past couple of days. She's enjoying her time. Luckily, right now the situation is a lot better than just a month ago. There is a ceasefire which is largely holding. People are going back to their businesses, to their normal life. So I think it's a good time for her to really experience the Lebanese way of living right now.
Yeah, what is it like to see your home, at this Friday evening, especially at the year-end evening?
I mean, I'm very happy, and I'm very excited that we get to hear from her about the situation in Lebanon, and I get to see some. She showed footage of the airport, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna be there very soon, so I'm very happy. This is a warm-up for me just before I leave back home for the holidays.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people online would say that probably the New Year's Day is not the best day that you're enjoying it, but the few days ahead of it, when you are missing home, when there's a sense of, atmosphere.
The anticipation is building up, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the reason why we sit here tonight and to discuss, the upcoming year.
Yeah, and what a year it has been.
Yeah, exactly.
We still have one more guest.
Yes.
Also from the Middle East region. I think he is in Dubai, our CMG correspondent, Muayyad.
Hello guys, this is Muayyad. During these days, we're preparing to welcome a new year, 2025, and say bye-bye for 2024. We bring you here to Hatta, one of the amazing places in Dubai in United Arab Emirates. You can feel Hatta is different. It's one of the most beautiful mountains destination in Dubai. The people here are waiting the new year. You can feel that everywhere. All the people is happy. A lot of families come to Hatta to enjoy and spend a lovely time. There is many activity across the city. The kids can playing. There is a lot of playing areas. Some places for barbecue. There is a beautiful clear lakes. It's a perfect spot for natural lovers and adventure seekers. Anyone looking for a peaceful escape, they can come to Hatta. Dubai New Year celebration always amazing. I know a lot of people waiting for one of the most beautiful fireworks in the world. I mean Burj Khalifa fireworks. But also here in Hatta, they make something amazing. I want to tell you that You can feel the amazing atmosphere when the fireworks light up from the mountains. This is what happened in Hatta every year to celebrate the New Year Eva. The sky of Hatta become a glowing with lights. It's magical atmosphere to welcome the new year. This time of year also Hatta hold a winter festival. They offering a blend of culture, traditional, also give the visitor to chance to try Emirati traditional food like machbous, guzi, haris, balalit, and chibab. There is a lot of activity, exciting happening here in Hatta, such as a musical performance at Hatta Heritage Village, and a lot of adventure activity take place at the Lake Lem, Hatta Dam, and Wadi Park. Hatta is also a place to discover local traditional herbs and spices and taste a famous Hatta honey during the ongoing Hatta Honey Festival. You can see all everything. Let you know, let the people to be happy. In recent year, Dubai government have invested in developing Hatta facilities, road destinations, hotels, markets, to transforming it and to make it as a global distance that combines natural beauty with rich heritage. Today, Hatta attracts tourism from around the world. Also, a lot of UAE locals and residents come to Hatta to see something different, to try a place natural and enjoy in this landscapes. If you move around everywhere, you can feel that Hatta is a cozy place. The people happy and looking for everywhere you are. I wish you a wonderful new year from Heart of Hatta. I hope you have a cozy time with your family and friends. This is Muayyad Al-Zabi, Hatta, Dubai, CGTN. Happy New Year.
Wow.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, Muayyad. I bet you've never seen Dubai like this.
No, it really breaks my impression on Dubai. I think part of the reason is because it's the festival. So they're emphasizing the theme that people get together with their family. I think that's like common sense around the world. So we don't see skyscrapers. We didn't see, the hustle and bustle.
Right.
We see the tranquility.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, is this Dubai? I know he's in Dubai. Is this Dubai?
Yeah.
It is Dubai.
It is Dubai.
Yeah.
So it's Dubai in a festive atmosphere.
Right. And so I'm happy that we ended with Muayyad on a more positive note for this live stream. Before we wrap this up, I really want to ask you, what do you guys think of your 2024 and how are you preparing for, the big day on December 31st? I'll start with you.
Great. So I think my 2024 is full of surprises and also full of dream coming true moments, which I feel quite incredible about it because we witness a lot of things that makes people feel more united together. I think this is what the world needs already now. And also for my 2025, the first I wish is peace for the world. And also I wish happiness and health for everyone. And we're gonna see more exciting milestones for next year, especially in the space sector. We're gonna see more exciting moments, maybe into the moon, into the Mars, to asteroids, to Jupiter, and beyond.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love the optimism. I love the enthusiasm for next year.
Into the future.
Into the future.
Yeah.
What about you?
I want to give credit to one of our netizens over here who's watching our live stream. Yixin Weigong says ceasefire deal can be achieved, hopefully. I don't know which ceasefire deal that this person is referring to, but certainly I want to echo Yilin what she said. Really peaceful in the world, because growing up in China, when you are younger, you don't get access to the outside world. And when you say that New Year resolution is that want world peace, and people would say that this is really abstract. It's certainly because we would take this opportunity to cherish that Chinese government has provided a really peaceful environment to its citizens. But if you look at the entire international landscape. Not just only the security situation in Ukraine, not only just in the Middle East. There are always small conflicts around the world. So if you take a look at any of the conflicts and wars, because I've been to Ukraine, reporting Ukraine, I've been to Donbas. I got a chance to talk with the refugees. I got a chance to talk with the people who are displaced. Certainly, regardless of whose responsibility is this, war is not good. It really can, give so much tragedy to countless number of families. So certainly we don't want any politics would influence the livelihood of any people. Also, I still remember the moment when President Xi visited during the international trip abroad. He mentioned about the year of 2025. The next year is the 80th anniversary of the anti-fascist war. So certainly this is the next year. We're taking this time to celebrate a peaceful settlement, to celebrate a world order after the World War II. Also, hopefully we have a peaceful 2025. We'll have a good and healthy life for every single person.
Yeah.
Well said.
I think, you're absolutely right. I think as someone from the Middle East who has seen in the past couple of years what is happening, especially the past few months with, the situation in Lebanon, you really appreciate being able to be in a city, in a country where, public safety is guaranteed. And so definitely I've heard it from a lot of people online, offline, on camera, off camera. They just want peace. And I've never heard such an altruistic but also very honest and genuine wish, because the past few years have taught us a lot about destruction, war, killing of innocent people. And so I join my voice to both of your voices in hoping for next year to be a year of peace, a year of conflict resolutions. And I think that the ceasefire that one of the netizens was talking about is actually the Palestine-Israel conflict, the ceasefire to that. So I'm joining my voice to you guys, and hopefully it will be a healthy, happy, and very safe year on all of us and all of you joining us here. Thank you again for watching.
Bring up the accomplishments of what we have. These are all the envelopes we have covered for today.
Yeah, and they were amazing keywords. They really described each person's, personal endeavor this year, but also their professional achievements. And so whoever came up with these words, thumbs up.
Be healthy and be wealthy.
Exactly. And when we're reading the comments from our netizens, I'm also so happy. They echo with what we believe in, what we think, right?
So,
okay,
we're wrapping this up?
Sure. Okay, let's
Finally, let's wish everybody Happy New Year. How about that?
All right. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.
See you next year.